This is a very, very critical time, and issues of persons with disability will need to be on that table. I am Patience Ogolo-Dickson, the Executive Director and the co-founder of Advocacy for Women with Disability Initiative. It's an organization that promotes issues of women and girls with disabilities. Advocacy for Women with Disability, AWWDI, came to being as a result of my experience and some of my sisters who have one form or disability or the other. And then we came together to form the organization so that we can give a voice to ourselves first, and then give a voice to women and girls with disability like ourselves. So what do? AWWDI promotes rights and issues of women with disability. We work across advocacy in the area of education, healthcare, climate change, transportation, universal designs, and all of that. I think it's all encompassing, so long as it has to do with issues of women and girls with disability, narrowing it out to their specific needs. A lot of challenges. Life itself is challenging. And when it comes to issues of women and girls with disabilities, quite a lot. I think from my experience as once a girl child with disability, now a woman with disability, we have issues around access. It's a big issue because of my own state as a woman with physical disability. So it's not the challenge that I have to go through as a woman with physical disability is different from a woman who is deaf, a woman who is blind, and all of that. So what are the challenges that we go through as an organization, especially as it has to do with climate change? People don't actually believe. When we started this projects on climate change, people were asking, does climate change impact their life? The truth is that yes, it impacts everybody's life. Just imagine a woman like myself who is on a wheelchair, and then there is heavy flooding and the whole place is filled up, and I am just trying to get myself, everybody is trying to look for cover, and I'm trying to get myself out of that space, and it's so difficult for me. Why? Because I'm a woman with physical disability. I'm on a wheelchair. So I need support to be able to get myself out of that space. So I have two options at that point, if I can put it that way. One is either to go with the streams of the flood or to get myself out. So I probably choose the second option, to get myself out, because I want to leave. So what I do, I'll look for supports to help me out, because I'm on a wheelchair and the wheelchair is being carried away by the flood. So it's either I come down and help myself, and then at that point again I have options, either to be flooded away or to actually look for support within the flooding. So I might be lucky, somebody might just pick me away and all of that. So these are some of the challenges. I'm just bringing one which has to do with flooding. There are numerous different types. So these are the kind of challenges that women with disability or the general persons with disability actually go through when it comes to climate change. But the biggest issue is that the systemic issue that does not believe, that does not accept, that is finding it difficult to understand the issues of persons with disability when it comes to climate change and how they are impacted with the effects, because now there is severe flooding and it's affecting everybody. So who talks about issues of persons with disability? So these are some of the challenges that we go through. In our work, there's a concept that is an emerging concept and is still evolving, and that is intersectionality. So intersectionality is a big concept and we are happy to be working in that space because we are trying to advocate that we should be working at intersection. Yes, we are women. I am a woman, but even as a woman, I am a woman with disability. But I'm a woman first before the disability. So that alone shows that we have to actually start working at the intersection of being a woman and the intersection of being a woman with disability. So that brought our work, because without that intersectionality, we might not be able to make progress when it comes to issues of disability and climate change. Now, I think because the whole world is talking about climate change, and we wanted to also highlight how this impacts women with disability, we have heard experiences from the field of women with disability giving their own lived experience about how climate change actually impacts their life. Okay, just imagine, few months ago, a few weeks ago, we had Mokwa flooding. I think like last year or 2 years ago, we had flooding in Lokoja. Even last year, we had flooding in Maiduguri. We had some women and persons with disability coming up to share their experiences. So, in fact, some of them died in the process. But those that were able to actually come off it, they share their experiences. And then let's also look at a very unique area when it comes to persons with albinism, women with albinism, who are heavily impacted around severe weather conditions, especially that have to do with severe excess heat. Okay, when the weather is very hot, their skin is burning. So, and then they have to struggle with skin cancer. I have a staff who just survived, is a survivor of skin cancer. Is a woman with albinism. We know what we went through for months for her to be able to come out of it. We spent a lot of money. She spent a lot of money, her family, but there were donations everywhere just because of the impact of weather, of the heat, of excess heat. So this is what prompted us to say, no, we can never be left behind. That is what AWWDI is all about. It's an organization that will make sure that women and girls with disability are not left behind in all the spaces, including in climate change. We are so happy that we have some donor who is supporting us in the area of climate change, that has actually helped to amplify our voice in the area of climate actions and also climate justice. I think we have been able to come up with a research work around the impact of climate change on women with disability. That for us is a lot, because it's not easy, because people are always saying, okay, give us evidence, or how this, what is the evidence that you have to show us. Now we have come up with an evidence. So, and this evidence is like lived experiences of those that have been impacted of around climate change. So this is one of the ways that we have been able to also do that. And then to also say that we are doing a lot of awareness, because in our community, community of the general persons with disability, we need massive awareness in all of the spaces. So for climate change, we are doing a lot of awareness on social media, on traditional media. We are doing a lot of engagements to government agencies, related climate change agencies, so that we can also advocate our issues to them. The truth is that at the beginning, when this project started, it took us time to get to the agencies, because they didn't understand, they didn't know that climate change could actually impact persons with disability, but we started to give them our own experience. So that is a big force that we have, and that is a big weapon. Our power is our experience. So without our experience, it will be difficult for people to understand what we go through. So with our experience, we're able to share with agencies of government and also critical stakeholders who have bought into the idea and see, oh yeah, everybody is impacted by this, including persons with disability. So these are some of the ways that we have been able to actually bring out what we are doing, and also have a buy-in from the public, the general public, the stakeholders, and everybody. And I'm so happy that people are talking about it now. Very important question. Yeah, I think I always have a slogan for myself. In fact, I have a series of slogans. This is one of them, and that is together we can do more. And then together with partners, you can actually do a lot. For us as Advocacy for Women with Disability, AWWDI, we try our best, but it's just like a drop in the ocean. So we can't do so much. So we need the government, we need stakeholders, we need CSOs that will also help us to amplify our voices. We need development partners. We need different countries to come together to have a collective voice around what's international treaties that we signed into. Nigeria also signed into some of these international treaties, especially that have to do with climate change. And then if we sign into, then we are obliged to also ensure that all the citizens have a stake around what we signed into, including in climate change. So it is very important that we begin to prioritize issues of women with disability around climate change. So do we include their special needs into response? So where there is a drought or there is degradation, people are running away from that area. So do we have the blind, the needs of the blind? How will this person be able to actually run away when she is blind or when he is blind? Do we put that into our response actions and all our response strategies, so that we can also ensure that there are some people that are not functioning like every other person, that their special needs are also part of mitigation? So all of these are some of the things that countries can actually look into and ensure that they are part of what the country signed into, because when you sign into it, you are obliged to what you are supposed to do. My call to my young brothers, sisters with disability, or young persons with disability, is that please be ready to take responsibility. This is a very, very critical time, and issues of persons with disability, we need to be on that table. And the truth is that if we are not on that table, nobody will do it for us. It is only when we are on that table that we'll be able to discuss and make decisions that concerns us all, even for us who are on the table and those who are not there. And then let us also remember that there is a community that we don't also want to leave behind, and that is the community of persons with disability in the rural areas, the grassroots, the community, those who are not so educated, those who do not have means of livelihood. They are just waiting for some of us to actually take them and let them run with us. We should not leave them behind, because by the time we leave them behind, we are leaving a chunk of a community behind. And remember, the SDG goals says that all countries must work together, including Nigeria. And as we are working together, we are carrying all of us together. That is my call to you young women, girls and boys of persons with disability. Thank you so much. Thank you.